welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be making some fun Halloween treats. I'm here with my cousin. Let's get started right into it. Okay, so this is everything we're going to be making. We're only making 2 of those Oreos, but we have all our supplies laid out, and I have all the recipes pulled up so it's easier to read. Okay, so the first thing we will be making are the spooky spider cookies. What you will need is a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper, some cookie dough of your choice. We chose the pre-made chocolate chip kind because I always fail at making cookies from scratch. Some candy eyeballs, you can find this at almost any store in the baking aisle. Some milk chocolate chips for melting, and finally some miniature Reese's cups. And of course the bag is already open because I had to do a little taste test to make sure they were good. Wink wink. Anyways. So what you're going to do is take the cookie dough and separate them. We ended up using 2 cookie trays so that they would be spaced out and not merged together while baking. Right when you take them out of the oven, you want to use a teaspoon or a tablespoon to create a dip in the middle of the cookie. This is where the Reese's cup will eventually go. Then you want to take the chocolate chips and put them in a microwave safe bowl. I microwaved it in 12-second intervals and stirred until they were completely melted. Then you can either use a spoon for drizzling, but we used a Ziploc bag. And we put 6 lines around the cookie to represent spider legs. Then I unwrapped the Reese's cups and placed them in the center of the cookie. Then using the leftover chocolate, we made 2 dots for the candy eyes to stick to. This is a really messy process, as you can tell, but look how cute. We will then put them in the fridge so that the chocolate will set. Now we will be making the Frankenstein and Mummie Oreos. The first thing you'll need is Oreos, of course, white chocolate chips. You can also just use candy melt, black decorating icing, brown sprinkles, food coloring, and pretzel sticks. You also need candy eyes. You can make however many you want, but we made 8 of each, so we used 16 Oreos. We melted the white chocolate chips for 12-second intervals once again. We dyed one batch green for the Frankenstein color and left the other one white for the mummies. Using a fork, we flipped the Oreos back and forth until they were fully coated. For the Frankenstein Oreos, you want to add brown sprinkles to the top of the Oreo to represent the hair. Then add the candy eyes. For the mummy, you want to drizzle the remaining melted white chocolate onto the Oreo in a back and forth motion. For the eyes, you can either use chocolate chips or candy eyes. Back to Frankenstein. The black gel was too thick, so we decided to use the leftover melted chocolate from the spider cookies to create the Frankenstein mouth. It was really hard to make because there wasn't much control. Pretzels are supposed to be placed like this, as seen in the picture, but I really could not get them to stick, so I left it how it was. When you are done, set them in the fridge to set. For our third Halloween treat, we will be making ghost strawberries. I realized I didn't film what you needed to make, but it's very self-explanatory. Make sure to wash your strawberries. Melt some chocolate for 12-second intervals once again. We put the strawberries on long toothpicks to make it easier to coat. Then add mini chocolate chips. Ours were too big and kept sliding off, so we melted them and put them on just like that. It looks very weird and messy, but overall it tasted really good. Now finally for the cake pops. The recipe I linked in the description box are for pumpkin flavored cake pops, but we aren't a big fan on pumpkin, so we just used vanilla. First, you will need cake mix and to preheat your oven based off your cake pan size. To make the cake, you will need a large mixing bowl, 3 eggs, half a cup of vegetable oil, and 1 cup of water. Then mix it all together. Pour it into a cake pan. Ours is non-stick, so there's no need to grease it. When the cake is ready, take it out of the oven and wait for it to cool down. Next, you want to crush it all up. Then we added the vanilla icing and combined it all together to make the cake pop balls. On parchment paper, distribute the cake mix into even-sized balls. You then want to place these in the freezer for 30 minutes. Once they are ready, I took some long skewer-like sticks and cut them in half. I dipped the stick in melted chocolate and spreaded it out on the top of the cake pop to represent the pumpkin stem. I then melted some white chocolate chips and then dyed it orange. This is where everything went downhill. The chocolate was too thick and it was hard to coat the cake pops. If I warmed it more, the chocolate would just end up burning. I ended up using the leftover Betty Crocker icing and microwaving it for 12 seconds. Then I dyed it orange and it turned out 10 times better. Now for the results. Okay, so as you can see, when I was doing the cake pops, that white chocolate was not cooperating. So instead, I just melted some icing for 12 seconds and then I added orange food coloring and then it turned out great. So now I'm about to show you guys an overall of every single thing that we made today. Okay, so thank you so much for watching today's video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you guys plan on making this or if you do make it. I'm gonna link every single recipe in the description box, even though I changed it up a little bit, but that's okay. Also, thank you to my aunt for letting me use her house and her kitchen and destroying it and using all the dishes. But I'm gonna say my favorite thing, the cutest thing we made was the cookies, but the thing that tasted the best was the strawberries. I don't know why. I've eaten 3, but it's okay. Okay, but anyways, thank you for watching this video and I'll see y'all next week. Cut the camera.